Hi, and welcome to Jamie deRoy and Friends. We have an array of exciting things to share with you. To start us off, over at the West Side Theater, the Curvy Widow will be wrapping up its run on November 5th. It's written by Bobby Goldman with music and lyrics by Drew Brody and directed by Peter Flynn. It stars Nancy Opal. It's about the travails of a widow in her 50s, Bobby Goldman. She had been married to William Goldman, who gave us the book To Follies. It's a wonderful romp through a lot of crazy dates.
Guilt, guilt, and more guilt.
Can't you be a woman and still want to be with a man?
Well, yes, but I should be a grieving widow, and now I'm a piece of ass.
If that's so bad, you are a vital, interesting, attractive woman.
Knock it
No,
off.
Bobby, I think you should continue dating. I think this is good for you.
Do you send all your widow clients into slutdom? When you date, you get burned, but lesson learned. Some men are only out hunting. They don't really like women at all. To have a great first date, let him choose the time and place.
Let him set the pace so you can quickly judge his taste.
If he's awful, you leave. You don't have the whole night to waste
On the march of dates.
It's over.
Looking for.
I'm a CEO who's always on the road. I'm a surgeon.
A state senator.
We're all very busy. But if I can find a way to spend an evening
And I may enjoy a meal.
at someplace nice,
I'd get a laugh or get advice
from such a smart, sophisticated, elegant woman who respects the complications of my life. Well, then where's the harm? Really, where's the harm?
I mean, where's the harm?
But still and all, of course, don't tell my wife.
Well, a play I am really looking forward to is playing at Playwrights Horizons. It's called The Treasure by Max Posner. It closes on October 22nd, and it's directed by three-time Lortel Award winner David Cromer. You can see his work also in The Band's Visit, which is currently in previews on Broadway. It stars Miranda Anderson, Pun Bandhu, Deanna Dunnigan, and Peter Friedman.
When I was married to my first husband, my next husband was always putting me in the style section.
I'll be right back. I just have to help with the return.
Well, help me then. How much are these?
Okay, they're on sale for $49.99, and they were originally $150.
Oh.
So it's your lucky day.
You know, dear, I bought a jacket in 1975 at Bergdorf's in New York City, purple corduroy. Nothing has matched that jacket in 40-some years. And now suddenly, bam!
That's amazing.
I started a program called Have a Heart. We taught many kids to read. Kids no one was teaching. Your father, maybe, or yikes, your grandfather, it could have been. Dang it. Oh, honey, you're a dear, forgive me. I was working with this marvelous young woman the night MLK was shot, and we just blew our noses all over each other. It was the worst night of our lives. The world ended. I knew him. I marched on Washington. Martin Luther King Jr., now he was a hoot, honestly he was.
Excuse me for a second.
You are just gorgeous, and your hair, Ronette. A young woman with her head on straight.
Thank you.
Your head couldn't be on any straighter.
Thank you. Ida.
We took those kids to see Nantucket. Fabulous boys. Dimitri was one of their names.
Well, you are a very inspiring lady.
No, you are.
No, you are.
No, you are, Ronette. You are.
Are you going to get those?
Over at St. Luke's Theater through December 18th, Frankenstein, based on Mary Shelley's classic novel. Book, music, and lyrics are by Eric B. Sirota. Running through November 19th at the Irish Rep is the New York premiere of Brian Friel's The Home Place. It's directed by Charlotte Moore. The play takes place in 1878. It's always a joy to have one of this playwright's incredible shows running at the Irish Rep. And now for our cabaret roundup. At Birdland on October 19th is the Sean Harkness Duo. He's an incredible songwriter and guitarist, plays every kind of guitar imaginable. We had the pleasure of having Sean on one of our shows in the past. Here is a look at Sean Harkness.
Leaving me with your memory. I'll always wait for your return out of nowhere, hoping you'll bring your love to me. Back to your world, leaving me with your memory. I'll always wait for your return out of nowhere, hoping you bring your love, hoping you bring your love, hoping you bring your to me.
And on Monday, October 30th, in her third appearance at the club, Natalie Douglas brings her latest tribute to Shirley Bassey. We are lucky enough to have had Natalie as a guest on our show. Here is a look.
I put a spell on you because you're mine. You better stop the things you do. Honey, I ain't lying. No, I ain't lying. You know I can't stand it. I can't stand it the way you put me down. You know I can't stand it the way you run around. I put a spell on you because you're mine.
And the incredibly talented Leah Delaria brings her show to Birdland from October 24th through the 28th. That's 5 days with special guests each night. She's a SAG Award winner. She is incredible. Been off Broadway, sings jazz. She does everything. And she's on Orange is the New Black. Among the guests are Norm Lewis, Sandra Bernhardt, Jennifer Nettles, Rachel Bay Jones, and Danielle Brooks. On Halloween, 2 shows over at Feinstein's 54 Below is J. Armstrong Johnson. He brings us a not-so-scary Halloween. You won't even recognize him that night because he's all dressed up in drag. Tell us about this concert and how this Winifred came about.
Well, as a little gay boy growing up in Texas, I mean, watching Hocus Pocus in 1993, I was, 6 years old, I fell in love with it. And Halloween has kind of been an obsession of mine. I always go full out. I always spend way too much money on my costumes. And I never thought as a kid that I could, wear women's clothing and get dressed up as a woman. But there's been this change in the world where RuPaul's Drag Race is popular and where female impersonation is in, and so I felt, because of marriage equality and the lovely changes in the world to artists in general, that I could maybe live a dream that I've had since I was a kid and not be ridiculed for it.
Well, you look wonderful.
Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you.
When I walked in, I was not quite sure who that was over there.
Well, I thought that if we were going to do a press preview, I might as well show up in what I'm going to be wearing.
In the feeling of Charles Bush and
Thank you.
and Charles Pierce and all of those greats that I really literally did a double take. And
thanks.
and for your birthday recently, you went skydiving.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was genius. That's another bucket list thing. I was like, okay, I've done Winifred and I've skydove. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, this brings a whole new meaning to versatile, I tell you. Another highlight at Feinstein's 54 Below is Linda Eder, Theater World Award winner, and we know her from Jekyll and Hyde. It's a thrill to have Linda back in New York. On November 11th, Anna Bergman brings her show to Feinstein's 54 Below, From Porter to Puccini. Anna Bergman was a guest at Jamie DeRoy and Friends. Here is a look at that performance.
A life in the theater can be glamorous. There's music and there's rhyme. But in departments amorous, a girl can have an awful time. For I have traveled round the world from Brighton to Bombay. Still on my quest, I've journeyed west. Might I find him here today? Oh, I'm looking for a boy to love who's not looking for a boy to love. It seems the man of my dreams always dreams of the man of his dreams. I'm looking for a boy to love who's not looking for a Roy to love. It seems my shining white knight is alone with his own Mr. Right. I'm looking for a man who I can adore. I'd be true to him and to no other. I'd even settle for the boy next door if he hadn't settled on my brother. I'm looking for a boy to love who's not looking for a boy to love. The problem grew so acute that I switched from Ciara to Brute. Is there no man who's still charmed, who's disarmed by the feminine mystique? If his pecs are divine, that's a very bad sign. If he's friendly and funny and trim, then you know that his honey's a him. Oh, I look and I look, I wait and I wait. I've lowered my hook, but I've got the wrong bait. I'll try once again. My man might arrive. I don't need a 10. I'll take 4.5. I'll take half alive. I'm looking for a boy to love who's not looking for a boy to love.
Over at Don't Tell Mama, Ruth Carlin brings her show Kaleidoscope Eyes to the club. She plays on November 4th, 11th, 12th, and 14th. Carol Shedlin returns to Don't Tell Mama on October 23rd and 30th in her show Serenade in Blue. On October 27th and November 25th, MAC Award winner Rick Skye is Liza Minnelli in Pizzazz. Continuing his show at Don't Tell Mama on October 28th is Rit Hen. He's a songwriter and a bass player, the tallest bass player we know, and one of the best. On November 3rd is Krista Bell, the longtime musical partner of David Lynch. She's appeared in Twin Peaks. From November 7th through the 18th, husband and wife duo John Pizzarelli and Jessica Molaski bring back their latest show, The Little Things We Do Together. So you know you're going to get a touch of Sondheim and Joe Beam and various other wonderful songwriters. They're an incredible team. And across the way from Cafe Carlisle is Bemelman's Bar. You can always go there and find someone, but on Sunday nights you'll find Billy Stritch and Jim Caruso. They start on October 29th and play Sundays in November. On Monday, October 16th, Primary Stages honors Janet and Marvin Rosen, the producers of In Transit, and the Tony Award-winning songwriting team of Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty, who gave us Ragtime, Once on This Island, and on Broadway now, Anastasia. The performers include Ramin Karimloo, Leah Salonga, Quentin Earl Darrington, Liz Calloway, and Margot Siebert.
Hi, I'm Leah Nanako Winkler, and I'm a writers group member here at Primary Stages, and I'm on the ESPA faculty.
My name is Jenny Rachel Weiner, and I moved to New York in 2012 to begin the MFA program with Fordham and Primary Stages.
Hi, I'm Sharon Washington, and my history with Primary Stages is I've done 2 New York City premieres here, and I'm going to be doing my 3rd, which is my debut as a playwright here in the spring.
I think Primary Stages is an off-Broadway home to so many artists, which is what makes them so amazing, and they've been around for so many years and have fostered young playwrights to older playwrights and have really kept with people's careers.
I think because in their mission statement, it's all about the playwright. It's about inspiring, supporting, sharing new plays and new voices, and I couldn't be happier to have the support of the theater with my new venture, which is my debut as a playwright.
I just think it's more of a community than like an institution. And I think that the staff here works really hard to hone that point in. So I would tell like a very lonely theater person who doesn't have anywhere to go to just come and take a class and just really take your time to learn about all the resources that Primary Stages has to offer.
Primary Stages just really commits to their artists and makes us feel like they'll do anything for us in our work.
You know, you have to have a safe space when you're exploring, and this is a place to do it. So if those of you out there don't know a lot about Primary Stages, I'd say get to know them, because this is the place to be. Really, no joke. I didn't get paid to say that.
On November 2nd, a very special night over at Carnegie Hall. Master Voices under the direction of Ted Sperling. The musical of the Icing, written by George and Ira Gershwin, with a book by George S. Kaufman and Maury Riskin. In 1931, it won the Pulitzer Prize. It was the first musical ever to win that coveted prize. Featured that night are Bryce Pinkham, Danae Benton, Kevin Chamberlain, Elizabeth Stanley, Chuck Cooper, and David Patu. On Monday, October 23rd, the Gingold Theatrical Group presents George Bernard Shaw's Captain Brassbound's Conversion. The cast includes Rebecca Luker, Max von Essen, Tony Sheldon, and George Dvorsky. On Wednesday, November 1st, at Caroline's Comedy Club, Strive, an organization that helps dads, is presenting Stand Up for Dads. The performers include Dave Koenig, Roy Wood Jr., Gina Brillin, Wally Collins, and Stephen Scott. We were lucky enough to have Stephen Scott as a guest recently. Here's a look at Stephen.
Howard Stern, he would be great. He was a judge on America's Got Talent. He would qualify. Howard Stern would be hilarious. Hillary Clinton could come out. He'd be like,
let me tell you something. You got like the hottest body. What do you like, a C cup? Those pantsuits are so hot on you. I'm fully aroused right now, right, Robin?
see, we know who the Howard Stern fans are in the crowd. In fact, the only person, though, that qualifies as a reality show judge and as a candidate for office would be Donald Trump. He could debate himself for crying out loud. He could say anything at this point. That's what I love about Leslie. He could say whatever he wants.
Hillary Clinton murdered a guy in prison. Okay, she murdered a guy. She wasn't even in prison. Okay, she's got terrible health. She has gonorrhea. Okay, she got it from a space alien. It's true. Okay, believe me. I know.
I love it. I could just I don't necessarily think he has to be president, but can't they just let him run for president forever? Because he's very entertaining. I love when he talks about China, though. He says funny things about China.
The Chinese people laugh at us, folks, because we're making terrible deals, okay? And the Chinese people, and I love the Chinese people. They're great people. They're fantastic people. They do my shirts. They're wonderful people. They laugh at us because we make terrible deals. I'll give you an example, okay? Every major city in our country has a Chinatown. Am I right? Every major city has a... I went to 5 cities in China. They don't have one America town. You see what I mean? Okay? This is Obama's fault, people. That's why we're going to build a wall, okay? And China's going to pay for it because they've already built one, apparently. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to have a casino, 2 hotels. We're going to call it the Great Wall of Trump. It's going to be 32 million square feet, which is huge. And that's why when I'm president, I promise you that Chinese Jewish people will go out for American food on Sunday nights. And Chinese people will call their fancy dishes America. Okay, so let's make it great again, or you're fired.
Little DT and Hezzy. What I'm definitely not going to miss, though, are those commercials. Those campaign commercials are the worst. You know, the ones where they hire actors to pretend like they're normal people saying disparaging things about the other candidates that you know aren't true. It's like, Hillary Clinton burned our house down. You vote for Hillary, she gonna burn your house down too.
This message sponsored by the people who hate Hillary. In 1994, Donald Trump had a love affair with a Chihuahua. Is this the kind of man you want as your president?
This message sponsored by the people who love Chihuahuas. You know.
Folks, a Chihuahua is a dog from Mexico, so we know where I stand on that issue. Thank you very much.
Here's what I think they should do, okay? They should make them do the same exact thing for the political ads that they make them do for the prescription medication ads and put a list of side effects at the end of all the things that'll go wrong if you vote for that person. Wouldn't that make sense? Instead of I'm so-and-so and I approve this ad, if you vote for this candidate, you may experience bouts of upset stomach, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, rash, chills, fever, swelling of the tongue or throat, a deficit, higher taxes, depression, nightmares, thoughts of suicide, increased health care, gas with oily discharge, increased bowel movements, an urgent need to have them and an inability to control them. If you have an election that lasts more than 4 hours, be sure to call your congressman immediately. That's it for me, guys. I'm Stephen Scott. You've been a lot of fun.
Well, there's another kind of opening on Broadway. This one is a restaurant. Bon 45 has now reopened on 46th Street. Shelley Fireman brings his iconic restaurant back to the space in the Edison Hotel. Just across the river in Millburn, New Jersey at the Paper Mill Playhouse, the Honeymooners has opened. It plays through October 29th. It's directed by John Rando and choreographed by Joshua Bergass. The book is by Dusty Kay and Bill Noose, with music by Stephen Weiner and lyrics Peter Mills. You remember the Honeymooners. We all watched it all the time. Ralph Cramden, Ed Norton, Alice, Trixie, to the moon. Here is a look at the Honeymooners.